Sincero Consulting presents your GMP Minute with Kevin Wall. Welcome to video 6 in the series on how to define a supplier risk management process. This episode covers rating CMO supply chain capability and assesses the CMO's ability to consistently meet production demand. If you have not done so, download the free guide that goes with this video series. Be sure to click the icon in the lower right corner to subscribe to our channel. The supplier risk management process should ensure the supplier has the ability to maintain product continuity. The supply capability has two parts: the ability of the CMO to execute their manufacturing process and the ability of the CMO to control their suppliers. When you choose a CMO, you want to know the product will be there on time. Here are the two indicators to look for during the supplier audit. 1. Right first time is tracked and improved upon. This means the reject, reprocess, and rework rates should be known. The firm's metrics can be verified in quality systems records. Evidence of problems can be found in the deviation or nonconforming product system. Ask for 2 years of deviation history and specifically look for recurring problems with no resolution. Also look for how long problems take to get resolved. You can also examine the supplier's product hold log. How long does the product stay on hold? Check to see the product holds correlate with nonconformance. 2. The CMO should have control of the raw material supply. The evidence is the reject rate at incoming inspection. Is there a trend in suppliers having the product returned? A red flag warning manifests when a supplier carries low inventory and has a significant level of supply issues. Is there a risk of stock out due to supplier problems? I also want to see a robust inspection system that ensures substandard material is caught. Supplier management should be proactive. Supplier management is not just having an approved supplier list and quality surveys. Does the CMO have supplier scorecards? Do they manage their suppliers according to risk? Are they on time with supplier audits, and do the suppliers respond in a timely manner with adequate responses? How many supplier corrective action requests, SCARs, does a firm issue? Another red flag manifests if the CMO has supplier issues with no SCAR being issued. The CMO cannot control how their supplier responds, but they can have mitigation plans in place. A mature CMO will understand their supply and ensure the risks are appropriately managed. As such, risk mitigation plans will be defined and executed. Does the CMO have a robust supplier qualification system? Mature CMOs will understand how to mitigate the potential risks of introducing new suppliers. You can find out by comparing the dates of when new suppliers are introduced and deviations. Look for deviations related to new suppliers. This is a subcategory of looking for deviations and reject due to supplier quality. Case study. While auditing the warehouse, you ask to see the reject or hold cage. You notice there is a large quantity of the same material in the cage. Some of the nonconformants appear to be recent, and some look a few months old. Follow-up questions reveal some lots are rejected at incoming, while others are returned from production because of an increased scrap rate. Before the audit moves on, you request the following be assembled in the audit front room for when you return: supplier control procedure, approved supplier list, the file for this supplier, and the scrap, reject, return rates associated with this material. Upon return to the front room and investigation of the records, you make the following observations. The scrap rate is high due to tolerances needed for manufacturing robustness do not match the tolerance on the specification. The analytical methods the supplier uses to release the product are not the same as the methods the CMO uses to accept the product. Variability of incoming material is such it can go undetected by incoming inspection. The CMO has not been cooperative to change, and so the CMO has decided to live with the high scrap rate. 3 other supplier files were checked and found to be in order. The scorecards show adequate control with other suppliers. Pause the video and mark your assessment. From a supplier control perspective, the overall system seems to be in control and the audit discovered the problem material. The concerns are directly associated with supplier controls. The fact the firm accepts the scrap rate means they are attempting to mitigate the risk to the supply chain by taking yield and productivity losses. Assuming the controls are adequate for the final product and patient risk is protected, the rating is not lowered for supply chain capability. As such, the checklist is marked acceptable. However, the case study does point to problems with the organizational competence and quality unit areas. First, the analytical methods used at the supplier and CMO should have been the same or demonstrated to be equivalent. As such, the organizational competence and quality unit adequate checklists are adversely affected. Follow-up on the regulatory submission is warranted to ensure the material meets regulatory commitments. Ideally, the CMO and their supplier would align, but given the supplier reaction, it may not be possible. The risk should be escalated to the project team for assessment. Your business is only as stable as your supply of material. Get ahead by measuring and responding to supply chain risk. Supply chain risk mitigation may mean carrying high inventory levels. On the flip side, a track record of a mature supply chain may mean reducing inventory levels and investing in growth. How do you determine supply chain capability? Share this video with a colleague that might benefit. Subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss a GMP Minute.